Yo guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be doing a first impression tier list. So basically, as you can come here and look at the tiers that we have, basically this is going to be just a tier list of what a survivor or what your teammate will make you feel if they choose this character, this survivor, before the game starts. So we have I trust this person for the categories like, you know, this is a solid pick. This character is going to be good, and they're going to help me win the match. Then, it's characters that they try, but pretty much every time you play with them, they still end up losing somehow. Then, you have characters that are really highly skill dependent, and you just have to pray that the person playing knows what the fuck they're doing. Then, we have they can't kite at all characters, so characters, you know, that if they're found, we're basically screwed and we lose the game. Then, we have characters that you better do well or they will be so toxic in the post-match to you. Followed by, they will never fucking touch any ciphers, they will spend all their time doing other stuff. And then lastly, a badge character, which is basically characters that people only play to get a badge, because they are not skilled enough to get a badge on another character. Shots fired. Anyway. Without further ado, let's get into this, and the first one is going to be psychologist, which I know psychologist means you guys mean well, but it just doesn't work out most of the time, man. It really doesn't. A lot of the time I play with a psychologist, and they try, but it's like their healing is basically useless because no one remembers that they actually have it. Alright, next we have embalmer. And embalmers, I don't know what it is about that character, but they can never kite. They can never kite. Embalmers always die immediately, go to their coffin that's like right beside the hunter, get hit again so they're on their second strike, and then someone goes to rescue them and like they die in like 2 seconds. I don't know why. I don't know why embalmer mains so they're always so bad. Obviously, I should probably put this out here. Just because I say embalmer mains, I don't mean every single embalmer main. I mean just on average of the characters that I play with, or the people that I play with that play these characters, this is what normally happens. Better put that out there before I get yelled at. Moving on, we have the gravekeeper. And, you know, I trust gravekeepers. Gravekeepers usually know what they're doing. They're usually good. They usually don't do anything stupid. I trust gravekeepers. Toy merchant, they best know what they're doing. Like, if they're gonna play that off meta. Like, good toy merchant's actually scary, but a toy merchant that doesn't know what they're doing is even scarier, but not for the hunter. Next we have barmaid, and honestly, barmaids, they will be toxic in the post-match. Every barmaid I've ever played with, pretty much, is the most toxic person I've ever met or ever seen in the game. It's absolutely crazy. And even if they don't do well, they will yell at you for getting like a 5-second kite. Like, it's sad. Anyway, next we have painter. Honestly, you guys try, but it doesn't work out, man. Like, if I'm going by the matches that I play with randoms, and not matches that I play with like a team or a friend, painters, they try, but it just doesn't end up panning out. Next we have seer, which, honestly, I trust seers. For the most part, sometimes seers will hard throw, but a lot of the time, all they have to do is click an owl. It's not that difficult. So most of the time, I will trust seers. Seers are normally good. Next we have the patient, which, honestly, once again, they try, but it doesn't work, man. It really never works out. Next we have the doctor, and doctor's going right into they can't kite at all. I don't know what it is about doctors, especially doctors with B badges, but they get down in like 2 seconds, and then they don't anymore, but every time they used to spam like thank you and just be, I don't even know, they used to be like really toxic, and also they can't kite. So we're gonna put them in the can't kite category because I feel like that's a bit nicer. Next we have gardener, and gardeners never touch ciphers. They never touch them. Like, they're either off dismantling chairs, or they're opening a chest, which I don't know why you would even bother opening a chest, because why are you playing gardener then? Like, if you're not going to use the one skill that you were given, you're not playing fucking lucky guy, you might as well just play lucky guy at that point if all you're going to do is open chests. But that's a rant for another video. Gardeners never decode. They're always doing something else. Next we have priestess, and you know what? You better know what you're doing as priestess, because bad priestesses can really into the game super hard. Next we have lawyer, and he's a badge character. No one plays the lawyer unless they're desperate for a badge, so let's just move on. Next we have batter, and now batters, honestly, I trust. A lot of people will say, please know what you're doing, category for batter, but every single batter I've ever played with actually knows what they're doing. I've never played with a bad batter, I don't think. Not in my memory, anyway. Let's move on to Mind's Eye, and they can't kite. That's not true, actually. Good Mind's Eyes, and I've played with a couple of good Mind's Eyes, and they can really kite the hunter well, and use Mind's Eyes like wall-seeing ability to like their full advantage. But for the majority, Mind's Eyes can't kite. Next we have the Weeping Clown, and Weeping Clown is just a badge character, honestly. Like, no one plays Weeping Clown unless they want a badge. Next we have First Officer, and once again, First Officers, they mean well, but they never actually, you know, we never win games when I play with a First Officer. We never seem to win. And they're good, but we never seem to get anywhere. Cowboy is a please know what you're doing. Cowboy is like my fourth pick if everybody's taken in the match. I never do well with Cowboy. Please know what you're doing with Cowboy. Next we have Thief, which is just a badge character. Thief is so easy to get a badge on. Next we have Explorer, and this hurts to do because I'm an Explorer main. I have an A badge with him, but yeah. No, Explorers can't kite. Also, Explorers generally have really bad ping as well, that's why they're playing Explorer, so they don't even have to try and kite. But yeah, Explorer, you're playing that character because you can't kite, man. And I say that as an A-badge Explorer, and it hurts me, but away we go. Prisoner is honestly just a solid character all around. You never blame the game on the prisoner. Very rarely will you ever have to blame a game on a prisoner. Lucky guy, I've never run into a lucky guy that was not toxic as fuck. Because they're playing that character because they're always thinking that they're better than everybody. And they can use every item to its full potential and be like God OP, super critical guy, Identity 5 player pro. I don't know what I'm saying, I'm just spewing random words at this point, but every single lucky guy I've ever seen is toxic. Pretty much every single lucky guy made anyway. He's also a badge character, but he's way more toxic. Next we have Dancer, and with Dancer, man, you just please know what you're doing. Please know what you're doing as Dancer. A lot of dancers, they've like put down the music boxes and immediately die, and then the music box goes away and it's just a disaster. Please know what you're doing as Dancer. Next we have the Coordinator, and honestly, Coordinators are either really good or just garbage. So I'm just gonna put them as please know what you're doing. It's really a mixed bag with Coordinators. I should have added another tier. Actually, let's go do that. Let's add actually just another tier. Add a row above. There we go. And we'll call this a mixed bag. Not bad, bag. There we go. So now it's a mixed bag. And Coordinator is definitely a mixed bag. You either get really good ones or you get really bad ones. Can I grab... Oh, I can't grab characters from there, unfortunately. Let's slide down a little bit. There we go. Next we have the Entomologist. Entomologists, again, are just a huge mixed bag. You either get an Entomologist at 5 Cypher Kites, or it gets downed immediately without even using the bugs. Oh my god, what just happened? Please save me. Okay, I don't know what that was, but I fixed it. Anyway, moving on to the next character that we have here. is going to be the little girl. Next character we have is the acrobat. Please know what you're doing as acrobat. Like, acrobat is so scary, but when you have a teammate that doesn't know what they're doing, oh my goodness, it's a disaster. Now, Wildling is actually a really interesting one, because the problem with Wildling is he does touch a cipher, but it takes so fucking long to decode anything with Wildling that it's basically like he isn't touching a cipher. And he kind of also rides around on the board randomly as well, so, you know, there's that. Next we have Mercenary. That's just a solid character. I trust mercenaries to do their job, but when you get a bad mercenary, it messes up the whole game. Next we have the Prospector, and Prospectors are again a mixed bag, but please know what you're doing as a Prospector. Like, you just have to hope and pray the Prospector is not going to, like, cancel stuns, or cancel attack recoveries and stuff, or get, like, hit trying to harass. You just have to really, really pray for that. Next we have the Novelist, and honestly, I have not played with a lot of Novelists, but I will say that Novelists never touch a cipher. I've played with like 2 or 3 Novelists, so like take this with a grain of salt. Take all of this with a grain of salt, in fact, but Novelists just seem to never touch ciphers. I don't know if that's just me, but they're always like trying to confuse the hunter and do their skills. A lot of harassers do that too, but you just at least know what you're doing with that. Next we have Enchantress, and oh my god, Enchantress players so toxic pieces of... Next we have Magician, and a Magician we can't kite. Magician mains we can't kite at all. We play this character so we can get away with really shitty moves. Next up we have the Mechanic. Mechanic's just a good solid character. You feel the Mechanic in the game whether she's good or not, so she's just a trusted character. Perfumer, same thing. It's really hard to fuck up Euphorbias, so you don't run into a lot of bad perfumers. Next we have Postman, and Postman is a mixed bag. You either get a Postman that like gets down in 2 seconds, or you have a Postman that actually is able to kite and send letters to the people that actually need the letters. And lastly, we have the Forward, who is a please know what you're doing character. I mean, like, Forward? Hello? And Forward's disappeared into the ether. But anyway, Forward should be in the please know what you're doing category. Oh wait, no, he's in the mixed bag. My bad. How did I not see him there? Anyway, a lot of the time, or you just need to know what you're doing as Forward. You need to know when to stun, when to not stun, when to run away with the football, when to not do that, when to throw. Like, there's just so much variables. Forward players, hats off to you guys when you're good. But anyway, that's going to do it for this list. I took inspiration from a guy on Reddit. It was in my last Reddit video that I made. Probably I haven't edited that yet, but that was the inspiration for this list. I'm not sure how well this will do. I'm not sure if I'm even going to upload it, but if I did, end cards you should click because videos are good, and peace.